So good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible. Yeah. Okay. So I'm in Raipur, Chhattisgarh, which is like the central part of India, and I have a preschool, and I'm here to tell a story. I hope you enjoy it. And it's called The Horse and the Butterfly. Once upon a time, far, far away, a really long time ago, there was a field that was owned by someone who had died long back. And he owned a horse who was kept in that field. But since the owner had died, and since the field was surrounded by very high fencing, that horse was left trapped inside the field. He was lonely, he was sad, and he was desperate for company. And he could not understand how to escape. So he wandered every day around the field, looking for tasty bits of grass to graze on. And that's how he spent his time. Now, something happened that changed this horse's life forever. And that was that fateful day. The horse, usually when he grazed, he could hear the sounds of other horses in the distance. And he wanted to go and join his friends. He could hear them singing, laughing, joyous. Gulon mein rang bhare, बादलों बहार चले, चले भी आओ के गुलशन का कारोबार चले. He could hear the sounds of the horses, but he couldn't join them. But this fateful day, it was a bright sunny morning, there was breeze, it was a pleasant, fine morning. And the horse was, as usual, looking for some juicy, tasty, fresh grass to eat. As he was grazing, a butterfly came fluttering, fluttering, fluttering. It had colorful, shimmery wings. And it sat exactly next to where the horse was grazing. The horse looked at the butterfly, and the butterfly said, "Hello, horse, how are you?" The horse was very pleasantly surprised. Oh, this butterfly can talk, and it's actually greeting me. It was really, really a happy moment for him. So he started talking to the butterfly, and he started telling her about all his worries and his loneliness. The butterfly listened to him. She said, she really like softly went near him and whispered, "It's terrible, horse, you feel this way." And then he began to open up. He said, "I think I'm trapped here. I'm lonely. And I don't know what to do." The butterfly thought for a moment. She listened to him very intently. And then she said, "I think you have forgotten who you are, horse." Now the horse was very surprised. But she said, "See, it was a lucky thing that that particular day, that butterfly had come exactly and landed on that exact dandelion where the horse was grazing." Some could say it was a coincidence, or it could even be serendipity that she came right there at that time on that day. And she was a gentle, kind, and a wise soul. And she could understand his worries and his pain instantly. So she said, "You are magnificent. You are strong. You're independent. But you have forgotten that you are a horse. Now the horse was very confused. But by that time, the butterfly had flew away to the other side of the field, and she sat on another flower. The horse began going after her, and he was thinking aloud, what does she mean? I have forgotten who I am. I am a horse, I know that. But still he went near her, and he said, butterfly, can you please tell me what you mean? I did not understand you. So she said, you are stuck in this field for a very long time. You've been lonely. And you take this to be your normal because you have become used to it, this situation. And so you have forgotten what is the essence of being a horse. What does it mean to be a horse? The horse was listening very carefully. But by then the butterfly had flown away and gone to another side of the field and gone to another flower. But the horse wasn't satisfied, so he followed her. And he said, how do you mean, butterfly? Okay, I'll try and explain some more. So the butterfly said that we create prisons in our mind. And this field has become your prison. And this field, or your mind, which is the prison again, is stopping you from achieving your dreams. And since you have been staying and stuck here for such a long time, you have completely forgotten that you are a horse. The horse said, this is deep, butterfly, very deep. But please explain me some more. I need some more clarity. Now the butterfly said, okay, I think I need to tell you a story. So the horse was very excited. Oh, I love listening to stories. So she began to tell a story. You know, a house flea. A house flea is this tiny, but it can jump to 200 times its height. Though it's this tiny, it can jump really high. But if you place a cup like bottoms up on it like that, then it will jump to the ceiling, but it will hurt its head. So the flea keeps jumping and jumping, and it keeps hurting its head. So after some time, it knows it needs to jump a little lower than the ceiling of the cup. But something strange happens. When you remove the cup, after a while, the flea will still jump to that lowered height. It's conditioned to jumping that lowered height because it knows that if it jumps too higher, then it's going to get hurt. And nobody wants to get hurt again and again. So she said that, and then she flew away out of sight and out of that field. Our horse was once again sad and lonely, and it kept thinking what the butterfly had told him. And it kept hearing the sounds of the other horses from the distance. And they were joyous sounds. They were singing, they were laughing. कफस उदास है यारों, सबा से कुछ न कहो, कहीं तो बहरे खुदा, आज जिक्र यार चले. It kept hearing the sounds, and something struck the horse. Something sunk in. And he screamed, I am a horse. I can run. I can jump. I can run fast. I can play. And with that, the horse did not wait anymore. It ran and it ran and it ran so fast. And in a moment, it was on the other side of the fence. with a smooth jump. He was on the other side of the fence and he kept on running. He did not stop. He did not look back. He just kept running to the sounds of his friends. And our horse was finally free. Perhaps he must have met the butterfly on the other side, and they could have remained friends forever, I guess. Or maybe he joined his other friends and the butterfly remained a friend in his mind, remained remembered in the mind forever. Who knows? That's the story. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So that's a story about identity, finding oneself.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for listening to me.
I'm looking at the faces of everyone here. I think most of the people here have pretty much found themselves.
I want to say thank you, Pankhuri. And it's interesting because I've been coming and going, but it's the second story today that had a scientific experiment embedded in folklore. So I love that.
That's
you know,
right.
Yeah, and I keep bumping my head up against my cup here.
Thank you.
Pankhuri, that was a wonderful story. Could you please share the source of the story?
Okay, it was shared to me by a friend, and it says that it's a modern fable. So I'll share the link with you for sure.
Thank you.
Hi Pankhuri, this is Veena here.
Hi.
I like the story, and one sentence which I particularly like was that we make presence in our minds. So the real block is here, and we think, you know, the manifestation is very much physical, but we have done it through our minds. So I really like that. Very nice story.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you. So kafas, in the song, the word kafas comes, this is a song by Faiz, Ahmed Faiz, who's a Pakistani poet. And kafas is cage. So it says that the cage is sad and the breeze brings whispers of freedom.
Picking up on what Lena said and what you said in the story, Pankhuri, about prisons in our mind, I think as storytellers, we tend to think of stories as being very positive forces in our lives, and they are. But I think the prisons in our mind are also the stories we tell. We frame a story about an experience in our life, and then everything that happens in that experience, that relationship, that work situation, is told in the context of that story. And I'm sure many of our friends who deal more in the healing realm and look at the healing value of stories would talk about redirecting our stories and reframing our stories, and so they are no longer the prisons, but that they release us.
Well, a prison or a house or a structure, you know, we need it because it gives us structure and it protects us, but it should not constrict us and constrain us. Great. Okay, we are exactly on time, and